Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Nice, perfect. I figured out that it was really bad because I didn't have it right in front of my face, and apparently this mic is really finicky if it's not right in front of your face. Oh boy, this is a lot of stuff. All right. Actually got permission from TMR to host my channel while I do this, so everyone act really surprised. We'll pretend like it's him who's doing this. Wow, TMR, thank you for the host. Can't believe it. Yeah, he typed up all this stuff, and so this is all like the sections for his website. So he's got like kind of like the story of EditMania, and he's got his frequently asked questions, and he's got his credits. And so he typed all this up himself in his own, you know, his own manner of typing. So he was, it needs a polishing. He wasn't worried about spelling or anything like that. He was typing it in Photoshop, so there was no spell check or anything like that. So we need to fix this, make it good proper English. Not that I'm the best at that, but maybe you guys will be. He wrote it in Photoshop and then copied and pasted it, so you can blame some of it on that. Or maybe all of it on that. Can you guys read the text okay? It's not too small. All right. Yeah, thanks. It's a good thing they have this, Mr. Leo. Thank you for the creative section. All right, first things first, let's capitalize some words. In May of 2014, let's say May of 2014. Oh, I know what you're those spaces are, hold on. I work in Word like all the time, so I actually quite like having all that crap that you're probably seeing and really hating. 1 second. I say I work in that all the time, and then I come in here and I'm like, where's these settings at? Oh, it's not in advanced, it's just in regular display. I have all my formatting marks on. Okay. I don't even notice those things anymore. All right, we'll capitalize everything properly. I'm going to say speedrunning is proper use there. So in May of 2014, right before EditMania started. See, I'm not a very good writer. I could probably edit this. Okay, I'm not a good writer, but it's good. This should be in his own words at least. Super Castlevania 4, and I did a very. We also have to figure out what he was talking about here. Yeah, I'm going to make sure it reads with this capitalization everywhere. I was being speedrunning Castlevania 4, and I did a very intense. I think he meant to say, I think he meant to say he was doing it very intensely. So let's reword that. Speedrunning Super Castlevania 4 very intensely. I think that's what he means by that. See, this is why I can't make fun of him for his spelling, because he didn't have spell check on, and I need that for just about everything I type. For a whole month, and I felt burnt out and wanted to take a break from speedrunning it. Is that too much use of the word speedrunning? Speedrunning Super Castlevania 4 very intensely for a whole month, and I felt burnt out and wanted to take a break from speedrunning. I think that's fine. During that period, many ideas came to my head regarding what to stream. Most of them were not very meaningful to me. Do I need a comma there? I don't know. Since they involved casual playthroughs. And at that point, I really hated casual playthroughs. I forgot I still had that. You could build the shark. This needs a better writing here. Not very meaningful to me since they involved. During that period, many ideas came to my head regarding what to stream, but most of them were not very meaningful to me since they involved casual playthroughs. How about this? Period. At that point, I really hated casual playthroughs with the lack of emotion. I know he's talked about this before, so I'm going to extrapolate a little bit and just say, like, at that point, I really hated casual playthroughs for the lack of emotion without having a goal, like going against a clock. Yeah, he's explained it before. He doesn't like just playing a game. He wants to have he wants there to be like a goal to playing a game rather than just to play it. And that's why he prefers speedrunning, and he doesn't like some blind playthroughs unless it's a race or something like that. Of course, we like watching and do blind playthroughs. How about the lack of emotion it provides? There we go. Beautiful. So one day I was Chilean. I know he wants to say Chilean. Chilean. I'm writing this while talking to you guys, so if I miss anything, I may not be looking at it correctly. So this says, let's make it more clear around that time. Skype is technically Skype. Yeah, but, you know, I got to keep it somewhat in his words, right? Unless there's some way better to say that. I really hated casual playthroughs. I don't know. I'll come back to that. I don't really like it either. Well, you know, he's trying to say is like it doesn't. There's no emotional investment in a game if he's doing it. Remove Darbian from how long? What do you mean? So that people can't check how long Darbian is. I can't modify it like that. You could time people out for doing that. I'm still trying to think of a way to write this without it. Oh, yeah, I can't change any of that. I think we should just, we're just gonna delete it. I'm sure McDuck, we can just delete the command. It's just an API call. So you just provide the channel name and the username and then it pops back with a response. And so I can't edit what the response is. You can delete it yourself too if you want, just the same way we do in TMR's channel. It's just Nightbot. If you want to be a bro, McDuck, just type !DELCOM space !how long, and it'll just delete it. And it'll just be totally gone. It should let you do it. Well, we'll see. How about this? Around that time, I was on. How about that? DEL, like Dell, McDuck. I have Darbian on the big screen, so I'm looking up. I see you missed a letter there. All right, we'll just, I'm going back to this sentence here. I agree, it doesn't make sense. At that point, I really hated casual playthroughs. We're just gonna put words in his mouth here and he can change it if he doesn't like it, but because I like to play games with a goal in mind, like going against the clock. How's that? We need that old Bubsy sound clip. I like it. I like the fact you only play the games for only a few minutes. Yeah, going doesn't make sense, you're right. I'm trying not to change it too much because he really wanted this to kind of be in his own words, but since I've heard him phrase it exactly like that, I think this is in his own words. Well, I want to like just do that. Yeah, I don't want to change like what was said here, really. This is just a paraphrase. He doesn't remember. He just remembers that the guy made the comment like, well, why don't you speed all the games? Something like that. That punctuation wasn't right. So what did he have before? I can look at, let me go back and look. He had it as then, comma, beat all the games. That's not what he said though. How about this? I'm gonna highlight. I was gonna turn on track changes, but I figured there's just way too many changes here if I turn on track changes, and it would just be really distracting. So I'm gonna highlight the parts that I kind of like did myself, so he can review them, make sure he reviews them, because I know he's not gonna want to read the whole thing again. I don't know if he's going to look at the track changes. I don't want him to have to go through and like just check all the box, like, oh yes, I approve this, I don't approve this. It's just too much. I don't know that he cares that much. Especially since I guess I could go in and just approve all the really minor stuff and just leave the bigger things, but he has the previous thing too, so I think it's okay. Around the time of Skype was transferring friends. That went thusly. I'm not really sure how to add anything to that other than to say like that went as follows, which is super formal and silly. He might say thusly. I don't like this because he didn't have this conversation. This was just a part of the conversation. It's like in what about just that went? How's that? All right, let's move on from that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. All right. I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter. I mean, we could do this all sorts of different ways. Because really, I would phrase it like I would probably write like I was on a Skype call and had the following conversation with some Chilean speedrunning friends. I would say something like that. Like, I would do it like that probably. This is where like I don't. Mr. Leo does have an English degree. Yes. You did get your degree, right, Mr. Leo? I know you were a major in English at least. No, you said you had a degree, so you have a degree. I got a C in English 101 and had to take a summer course to make up for it. So my final paper in English 101 was about Top Gun. So I'm not exactly the most skilled. Oh man. I'm so glad you both are here. EMA. But that does mean I took English 102, so I took twice as much English as was required. So in a way, I think we're all on even footing here. All right, let's move on. After that unexpected call, I started to think very serious about it, and since I previously beat what were considered the 30 hardest NES games, oh boy. So I thought, okay. About I started to think very seriously about what he said. And since I had previously beat what were considered to be the 30 hardest games, 30 hardest NES games, I thought it shouldn't be that hard, right? I wonder if that still exists, because you could maybe just link the website here instead of saying this, but because you could say just, is it a .com? Hold on, I'm going to Google it real fast. Electric Frankfurter. Wow, this isn't helpful at all. Oh, here it is. Yeah, .blogspot.com. There's actually a patent for an electric Frankfurter. Started to think very seriously about what he had said. Previously beaten. Did you get that command deleted, McDuck? That go all right? All right. Without hesitation, I found myself thinking about a name for the project. You know, if you got it deleted, you tried everything. It should look like I guess I could have just typed it to you, huh? Let's see. All right, 1 second, Gordo. You did that, McDuck? I'll delete it myself here in a second if it doesn't look like anyone's spamming it anyway. Professional TMR looker says, my English opinion, you should end the first sentence after he said. First sentence of what? Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I think that that's technically not how it's supposed to be written, McDuck, so I don't know why it works for TMRs. I don't know. Anyway. Here's what I'll do. I'm just going to make it, I'll just make it moderator only. How's that? Okay, now it's moderator only. Yeah, TMR hosted me. It was really cool that he did that and not that I did it to myself. That is for sure. Okay. Without hesitation. Oh, and he doesn't mind if this language is kind of fantastical, like it's a quest or whatever. He doesn't mind that. So, without hesitation, TMR burst into the scene. Found myself thinking about a name for the project. Period. Don't even need to know what the next words are to know that needs a period. Name is very easy for me to pick because when I was a kid, I feel like I over comma, but I used to love a TV game show. And we don't need the parentheses. We can add in here, you know, then he pulled the cart from the stone and became Sir TMR. I just throw commas in everywhere, really. I probably would, like, I would probably put a comma there too. I don't know. I end up putting commas like just all over the place. This one, though, does not need a comma. That was the big inspiration behind the name of this man. The name is very easy for me to pick because when I was a kid, I used to love a TV game show in Mexico called EditMania. That was a big inspiration. Well, I can just do a Control H, find what? Find space, replace with comma space. Perfect. What do you guys think? This could probably be done a little differently here, but I think I don't like that sentence, but I don't like it as a run-on sentence either. Now you see why I had to take another English course. I actually found that paper not too long ago and read it, and boy, it is bad. It's like a 12-year-old wrote it. My Top Gun paper. It's really sad. All right, so the next couple of days, when he was writing this, I really wasn't even bothering to read what he was saying exactly. I was just listening, but I remember I did read this, and I remember I wasn't sure what he was saying, but so the next couple of days, I did the big announcement in my Twitch stream of the project. So I think he means just like a couple of days later. Then the next few, I don't know, a couple of days sounds weird to me. A few days, I did the big announcement on my Twitch stream of the project I was about to start. One step ahead of you, Ify. Shortly, a lot of people on free will decided to help me out refining the details such as layout, stats, game list estimates, etc. I see no problem there. That's how I would have written it. I don't know if he means like soon after or I could say soon after, or I could say very quickly. I can just say soon after. Soon after, a lot of people decided to help me out. We don't need the word free roll there. A lot of people decided to help me out with, how about offered? That covers the deciding and the free will, with refining the details, such as the layout, stats, game list, estimates, etc. I'm going to move stats because that's less important than this other stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's really not like a lot of people. Yeah, I'm not sure if, because he said shortly after, but like he does probably mean like does he mean immediately? I think he does. I remember everybody was helping him out like before he was really getting started, but some of it started after he did get started too. But how about this? Almost immediately. How about that? That covers us. All right, we can't be sued. Could say, I don't know if this is worth changing. A lot of people began offering to help me out. One thing is like that I'm not paying attention to at all is proper like verbiage with like keeping everything in the right, see, I don't even know the word. Everything in the right tense and stuff. I'm going to say began offering. 2. Of the project. It's like camping, it's intense. All right, everybody cool with this? Should I straw poll it? I guess game lists. I guess, you know, people may not know what this means, so I'm going to put the stream layouts, official game lists. Let's make it more specific for the casual reader, for all the reporters who are reading this. Game length estimates. I mean, this is going to be on his website, right? So the idea is that really anybody who doesn't know what NESmania is, this is what they're going to be reading about, or someone who maybe they know about it but they don't know how NESmania started or whatever. So the whole website is mostly geared to people. They can use the game list stuff and do all the sorting like what the spreadsheet does. So that works fine for people who are doing that, but I think some people are going to want to come in and just read about the project to know what it is and stuff like that, because you got to imagine like when he finishes this, like there's going to be news articles or tweets that pop around about this guy who beat all the games, and they're going to come to this website and they're going to say what the heck is it, and they're going to read this. So it would be good to have it give a little bit of a bio about kind of where this project came about and stuff. I don't know if he wants it. I mean, he wants it in, he doesn't want any spelling mistakes and he wants the grammar fixed. So I'm trying not to like go overboard with editing out of his own words because he wants it in his own words. So I want to make sure we keep everything in his own words, at least as far as this part goes. When we get to the FAQ section, we can kind of do what we want. But this part, he wants to be in his own words. So as long as we're keeping with what he's trying to say, though, I think it's fine. I don't think he'll mind. I just don't think he wants people to read this and be like, oh, he spelled this word wrong. All right, let's move on. Because when he wrote this specifically without worrying about all that stuff. So, because he just wanted to get it all down and not have to think too hard about all that other junk. Okay. May 28th, 2014 was the day I officially started playing He wants to use the word live because he wants it to be clear that it's live, but it's hard to get that word in there correctly without it being kind of disjointed. Started playing live, like what does that really mean? He means started playing it on stream. Oh yeah, when we get to the credits, McDuck, we can just slip in anything you could think of. Yeah, I don't think he needs this word live, but he does want it stressed that part of the project is the fact that he was playing it live. So I'm going to say that, but in a different way. I started playing the first game, Wampum, live on my Twitch stream. Because I don't think people, even if we just say on stream, people may not know what that means, so. I mean, that's what this is building up to. Like, he thought of the idea, he started working on NESmania, he began NESmania, some stuff happened, and then, McDuck, Mr. Leo, Ify, McAronice, Gordo, they found NESmania. That's what this is building to. Like, that's like the pinnacle of the story, right? And then they all watched my stream, and I knew that I had accomplished what I set out for. We're building to that. Okay, we're just laying. This is just laying the groundwork. Well, we could put like we can do like, how about this, like how about we just kind of start it off. NESmania officially began on with by playing Wampum live on my Twitch stream. How about that? Yeah, what is the proper protocol for that? I think they probably should be italicized. Like I'm not sure how he's gonna keep this, but let's go ahead and do that for him, just because someone who looks at this may they're not going to be proofreading it. Hundreds fans. Yeah, like levels within Wampum, like that would be in quotes. I agree. I think that it's TV shows you parentheses, but Wampum's a title like a book, so not that I read books. During the next couple of weeks, there was a whole new gaming world to explore for me. For me to explore. I was simply impressed of how vast and rich the NES library is. That's not too bad, actually. I don't know if simply is the right word there, but you know, like simply isn't an English word you would use a lot, but it's certainly not improper. No, this is the first use of a game title. I got to play many kinds of games that I've never seen in my life, never seen before in my life, and if that wasn't already scary enough, I was also trying to beat them without taking any hints or spoilers from... See, he says chat. Oh, let's leave that for now. I'm only trying to beat them without taking any hints or spoilers from chat. Instead, using only the info. Well, let's be proper. Information. Within the instruction booklet. Only information solely within the instruction booklet. Zinnia spelled out earlier in the draft as Zinnia, should we assuming everyone know? It isn't, but it's that may be kind of implied knowledge at this point. But you know, I don't know. Let's see where's the. I mean, we're already starting in here, like talking about NESmania. We don't even mention the NES at the beginning. I think when we get to the fact, we can make sure we have that kind of in there, but I think it just kind of jumps in there. Yeah, I don't like that it just says chat, because I really it should be like his viewers, right? But we need to specify that it's not just his viewers, it's his live viewers. Because like, you know, a YouTube has viewers, but they're not. I was trying to beat them without taking any hints or spoilers from my live viewers in chat. Instead, using only the information solely within the instruction booklet. Yeah, when we get to the frequently asked questions, we can look at that because it's not a bad thing to explain, just kind of like, hey, what exactly is Twitch? I think it goes without, it becomes pretty obvious when you hit the play button on one of the videos, but there's a lot of room for expanding stuff in there, so figure that out. All right, now to my favorite part. I don't know that I want to. This will be edited without commentary. The drama. All right. Many games were beaten during the next 2 years, and people were very happy about it. But one day around game 395, I had to take to. Well, I already know that's going to be make. McDuck, that we already know that's not a state. It's not a state. Tried to get me, not falling for it. And the people and the viewers were, I think he just means like very satisfied with the project. But around game 395, I had to make a very difficult decision. One's not like this. Thank you. Come on, Word. Work with me. With this, since we're describing the decision, then this part will be in I had been told that I wasn't the only one trying to beat all the NES games. Have you won a raffle, Gordo? We can put that section for you. I'm told that I wasn't the only one trying to beat all the NES games. There was another person and he had beaten almost the same amount that I had at that time. Another person attempting the feat. I mean, I want to clarify who that. Of course, there's another person, but what was he doing? He was attempting the feat. I'm still, which is a long sentence. What I'm in right now, I'm only on the first 5 words. Hold on, I got to get further before we'll chop it up. There's another person attempting the feat, and he had beaten almost the same amount of games that I had at that time. Hey, Lando, what's up? But the difference was that he was looking up some guides and speed runs prior to beating the games. Okay, we'll split this up. We'll say same amount of games that I had at that time, but he was beating was beating them differently, but he was what would the word, like, he's not beating them differently, he's like preparing to beat them differently, but let's just say he was beating them differently for now. But he was beating them differently than I was. Just trying to split the sentence up into more manageable chunks. He was looking up guides and speed runs prior to beating the games. Which made the completion time much shorter in comparison. Approaching, I like that. For that reason, I thought that if I kept beating the games the way I was currently doing them, I wasn't going to be the first person to beat the entire NES library. We don't even need that for the reason. Clearly, it's for that reason. I thought that if I kept beating the games the way I was currently doing them, sorry, I wasn't going to be the first person to ever beat the entire NES library. Thought that if I kept beating the games the way I was currently doing them, I wasn't going to be the first person to ever beat the entire NES library. Yeah, maybe we should. I mean, we kind of talked about how he was doing it up there, but I thought that if I keep beating the games without I'm not sure the best way to say that. Without using any outside references. I don't know, it's kind of technical. Felt that if I kept beating the games without using guides or help myself, I wasn't going to be the first. I think that kind of works. This sentence here became not a challenge to beat every game, but also to be first. I don't know if that even has to be right there. It could be earlier even, but or maybe after. I think it should. I don't think this should be right here because like then it kind of jumps back to like with that in mind, I had to take help. Like that's a different thought than it's a race. Like he wants to be first. This sentence. Let's just move this sentence out of the way. Sentence, you have moved. Okay. With that in mind, I sadly, how about reluctantly? Sadly, I don't know, we can use his word there. We should use his words. That in mind, I sadly had to start accepting hints and spoilers. For some games. Many viewers were very upset with the decision, but that was the price for glory. He really wanted it to say this, so I don't know if I should change that. He wanted, I was like, this seems a little much. He's like, no, it's got to be fantastical like that. But that's the price for glory, for fame. It became not just a challenge to beat every NES game, but also a race to be first. And here's where we add, and then 2 months later, it was no big deal. All right. Hopefully everybody's okay with that. With new competition playing under different rules, the game changed and now had to change in order to be. The game had changed, the rules had changed, everything had changed. This was no longer a game, this was life. Yeah, I mean, we could change this a lot, but I do want to keep it in his words since this is like kind of his perspective on it. I mean, we all have our own perspective on that, so I don't want to change it too much. And it's as long as it's proper English, I think it's fine. I mean, this is a weird way to phrase it, but I know that's exactly what he wanted to say, so I don't have to change anything there. Okay. The last stretch is not really a phrase. The final stretch is. What had started. What did I do? Okay. But it started as an impossible quest. Yeah, I don't like changing his words. I mean, even like, in his stream, whatever, like I never try to correct him for the most part, unless he's asking, but because I mean, the way he phrases things is so unique. I mean, that's it's one of the best parts about him. So it's best if we just let everyone enjoy his personality. Okay, what had started as an impossible quest had become an achievable reality. I mean, that's a great sentence. That's a great sentence. I think we want to go past tense, but that's still a great sentence. The list of unbeaten games. So he's typing this as in like right now, but when this goes on the website, he's gonna have already finished. So I think we're gonna make this past tense. The list of unbeaten games had shrunk to only a few titles, and the excitement for the last games had been growing. No problem. The closer I got to the end, more nostalgia and responsibility I felt. I wanted to make sure this epic quest had a proper ending that can honor how big and how important it had been in my life. Okay, that's fine. Nostalgic. Did I miss? Oh, yeah. I think I read it correctly in my head rather than what was there. Thanks for the help, Gordo. I appreciate it. Okay, we're good there. Legacy. The idea of EditMania has inspired many gamers and people around the world. Are you trolling me with that, Gordo? You're helping me with all this phrasing and typing, and then you use the improper your. If so, well done. If not, pretend like that's the reason why you typed it that way. It has inspired many gamers and people around the world to begin similar completion projects of their own across Twitch. Closer I got to the end, the more nostalgic and response. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. God, the more nostalgic and responsible. Hmm. Yeah, I think it should be nostalgia. I wanted to say responsibility because he felt because he feels responsibility. It's weird to say the more responsible I felt. I'm gonna type this to Nestra. Because you can still feel nostalgia. You feel nostalgia. I don't know. I think it's okay because I wanted to say that thing to begin similar completion projects of their own across Twitch. I don't think it's necessarily just across Twitch because people are doing it on YouTube as well. But we can just say Twitch. This is where we can add in stuff like Landell's RPG Quest available here. Click now. The idea of Nesmania has inspired many gamers and people around the world to begin similar completion projects of their own on Twitch, exposing people to many retro game catalogs that would have never been seen otherwise. Seen? I don't know if seen, I mean, experienced. I feel like I can edit this sentence because this sentence was my suggestion to him. Because it's not just the people who see it, it's the people who play it as well. So, I mean, the people watching get exposed to it, but so does the person playing it. So they are experiencing it. Well, Word has built-in grammar and punctuation. Technically, it's fixing my grammar right here. It's just not seeing any problems. I don't know what if that's right then. All right. It has also been a place for people to bring back their childhood memories of playing and struggling with some of their beloved titles. I don't know if place is the right way because he's not talking about. I mean, Twitch has been away, but EditMania has been a. So so when he's doing this, he's talking specifically about his own project, not all the other projects. So Nesmania has been a place. So it's not really necessarily. I mean, I know what he's trying to say, but maybe it doesn't matter. It's also been a project for people to bring back their. That's fine. Guess we could, since I know what he means by it, maybe I should type it in. How about like my stream, my Twitch channel during this mania has also been a place for people to bring back to life. I don't know, maybe that's too wordy. Or we could just say, if we just say a project that covers everything. So see, it has created a community for fellow retro fans and people new to retro games to explore the NES library. Yeah, good. I like it. Works. All right, so now we're in the FAQ section where we can actually use all of our knowledge of Nesmania to type whatever we want. This doesn't have to be in TMR's words at all. Place isn't the right word, events or moments. I agree that place isn't perfect. So I thought maybe project. This project can cover stream, YouTube, website, etc. I mean, this project isn't a place either, but I don't know. What is EditMania? EditMania is TMR's quest, so this is where he wants to make sure it says live, to beat all 714 officially licensed. So here, NES game, any officially licensed 714 Nintendo Entertainment System games. Well, for TMR, carts means games. I think if we say carts, it'll just confuse people because they don't know what a cart is. I mean, we know what a cart is, but this may is TMR's quest to beat all 714 Nintendo Entertainment System (NES) games officially licensed by Nintendo. Or how about this? All 714 games officially licensed by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now we're cooking with fire, and now, but we want to say live in here somewhere. As many as TMR's quest to beat all 714 session. I like that. Did we define stream? Yeah, I think I like that. I like that. Because he wants to say like that he beats all the games live. It's not just that they have been streamed live, but the requirement is that he did beat them live, right? This meaning is TMR's quest. Be all let me say for live on Twitch.tv. Let's do the whole, well, let's do the whole thing. I wish like live is such a wimpy word, like it's so small and like it's such a throwaway word. It's like it needs to be like if it was like a bigger word, it would make it just feel so meaningless. You're just like, oh, it would be alive, and you almost don't even notice that it's there. Because it's like if you just say live, that's what it means. But you would say like live and in person or something like that, right? But that's what live means. Like when you say live and in person, that's redundant. I think it's fine how it is, Nestria. I know you can't hear me, but I think it's okay. Yeah, you could say, okay, that's true. So for the NES console live on front, I almost want to say a virtual audience, but it's not. How about if we say like in front of a live audience? That kind of works. I mean, like, yeah, because I would want it to, both to say that he's doing it live, but also that that's part of the purpose is that he's doing it live. It's not just that he happens to be doing it live, but that is part of the purpose of the project. If it ain't live, it don't count. Yeah, but how would you say to viewers like console? So on in front of viewers, it just sounds kind of lame. He did have a TMR show for a little bit. Okay, how about this? How about a in front of a live internet audience? Boom. Okay. Why 714 games? We can answer these however we want. I mean, really, the question is why are there 714 total games? I went on Wikipedia and it only said 670. And so why are you playing so many games? I mean, obviously, I read it on Wikipedia. I mean, really, like these questions are kind of meaningless. I mean, it could just say like, why 714? It doesn't really matter. The answers are what really matters, I guess. Why are there 714 total games? There's 700 blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Maybe we should say that up here that, well, I mean, Famicom isn't in the yes. We'll just leave it like that. This gets answered here. He did it from the start, Mr. Leo, because he wanted to beat all the NES games, and he almost immediately said, "Well, not Famicom. I don't know Japanese, and I don't want to do it." But he still wanted to play some of the PAL games, and I don't know if it's because he knew some of them already or not. He might have already known some of them, and he wanted to include those. But I, I at least that's how I remember it, because the Wikipedia list doesn't list those PAL games. So I know he had to have intentionally gotten those PAL games himself, because the Wikipedia list was just the NTSC list. Because if you look at Wikipedia, it has like, I don't think it has all 700, 679, but it had 660 something games or something like that. I don't know if we need to have this like in his perspective or not. We'll see when we get back to these other questions. Probably so, because some of these questions might be like personal questions, so maybe it's okay to keep them in from his perspective. Although I hear we're talking about TMR's quest, not my quest. Maybe we should just remove that. Just make it originally when the project started. Well, it still has him like. Well, all I remember is that the Wikipedia list only had like 600 something games on it. It didn't have any. It didn't have the 700 games that he started with. It was way less, and it could have been, who knows why. But even now, when people go to the list, it doesn't list all those. I mean, I think they're in separate lists or something like that. Originally, when the project started, I took a reference. So, well, here he says he had the Wikipedia had that, but I think it was two lists combined that did that. Do we need to do that so we don't get sued? We need to put these TMs everywhere. I'm one step ahead of you. You got to get on my level with this delay. We won't do trademarks everywhere. When the project started, I referenced the Wikipedia list of licensed NES games, and it had 708 games. Then the viewers from my chat helped me out making research of missing games until, okay. Let's just say the viewers. That's obviously if they're from his chat. Viewers of my project helped me out by researching. This is taking a lot longer than I thought, by the way. I thought I was going to be done with this in like half an hour. The viewers of my project helped me out by researching for any missing games, and the total eventually finalized at 714. Yeah, I agree. This is a little wordy here. Get that more concise, but you don't need to say to help them out even. Here's my project researched for any missing games. I was going to say ended up as it seemed pretty casual though. I mean, we've already talked about how TMR doesn't like casual, all right? But that's how I was going to say it myself. So it's 2 votes. Boom. Yeah, I get that that could be the question, huh? How about this? Why are you playing duplicate titles and multi-carts? So here's where we define carts, the exciting moment we've all been waiting for. I think the way I want to change this though is exactly what he said, which is we can't skip to the next question. We were done. We did it. We did it. It's great. It's a great question. It's a great answer. Why there's 714? Well, there's this many NTSC, there's this many PAL, that equals 714. Oh, by the way, originally we only had 708, but we found some more. We're pretty awesome. And then that's the story of 714. Is there something more to the story? 'Cause I mean, really, this doesn't need to be here at all. This is just like an aside, right? Yeah, but the viewers of my project, they investigated. Detective viewers investigated for any missing games, and and they found a few. They found some over the course of the project, and the total eventually ended up at 714. It's fine, like that. McDuck, that's what I just changed it from research to investigated. You guys, I'm gonna have to do a straw poll here. The viewers of my project, I mean, they researched and investigated. Well, they didn't just look it up, Prince. Hey, Prince Batman, how's it going? They didn't just look it up because, I mean, this required more than just looking up. This is like This is like those scenes like in Game of Thrones when like Sam like goes into like the library and like he pulls out the book that no one's looked at in 1,000 years and he finds some really important chapter brushing the dust off and it's like, wait, the Pac-Man Tengen release was released officially before they pulled the license. And he rushes the book to TMR stream like, like streamer, I found something. Sort of like that. That was the tale. That's the fantasy. Uncovered. Dug deep. the, viewers, the viewers dove into the bowels of the internet and pulled from the wreckage. Oh, well, I don't know. Be more specific. You confused me. I think uncovered makes sense because I mean they researched, but they also just uncover. I mean, they weren't like necessarily looking for it, but they're just like, hey, what's this? They uncovered it. I think that works. I think that solves that as well. Why are you playing? Why did you play duplicate titles and multi-carts? So this is one I think we can retype it a little bit and just say, like when I know how I'm going to type it how I know he would say it, and then we can edit it up. And what he would say is when I started when I started EditMania, and I said I was going to beat all the games in my head. And this is terrible typing. Just roll with it. In my head, that meant all the carts. Yeah, we'll make sure we mention that, Mr. Though. I was on that stream, so hopefully I can phrase it. But I started to know when I said I was going to beat all the games in my head, that meant all the carts. In a few cases, games were. I'm just going to type this out, and we can edit this however we see fit. But I'm just going to type what's on my head. Games were re-released in the same region with different names and were, I don't know if I say relicensed, but we're separately licensed by Nintendo. The multi-carts, should we have a dash there? Probably. Put a dash there. I should define this, right? IE, is that the correct one? IE carts with multiple games. Also licensed separately by Nintendo. Could even put in here like which ones they were, which is Punch Out, Flash. Maybe I should do it in chronological order. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Reading my mind. I mean, multi-carts, the carts with, I mean, multiple previous, I mean, they were previously released, so multiple previously released games resold on on a single cart. How's that? Multi-carts were also licensed separately by Nintendo. Yeah. I just realized we don't even have any freaking music, guys. Let's fix that. Wow, we've been sitting here in silence for how long? My bad. See you, Prince. Thanks for dropping by. So I just kind of want to rewrap that all together, saying so all those carts had their own license from Nintendo and to me, and therefore to, I mean, really, I can't imagine TMR saying, and therefore to me, were licensed games that should be beaten in EditMania. Let me look at these questions here, because yeah, we were talking about the PAL thing. I do think that should be defined, and we didn't. I don't think that that's in here. I'm just gonna double check. We'll keep put that in there. Well, we could have another section here. So like we could have, I'm not like, we don't need this anymore. We could put a new question, right? We could put in, where is random game name? Why didn't you beat that one? EditMania is a project to beat all the licensed NTSC and PAL exclusive games. There are many unlicensed games that were released for NES, but they are not included in this project. This includes many of the Tengen games, some, I don't know what we call them, the Bible games. We have on TMR's thing, we have the well, I'm going to pull it up on his chat real fast. Licensed. TMR is only playing officially licensed games for the NES, not Famicom. Games by... Okay, so that's Color Dream / Wisdom Tree. Wisdom Tree. Don't know what Camary is, but I'm going to go with it. There were also many PAL games that were, what do you call it? Not clones, but not patches. They were, oh, come on, what's the word? They're the same game. What's the same game? That were NTSC ports, that's what I want to say. I don't know if port's the right word though. I mean, is ports the correct? NTSC ports. Released under a different name. How about that? We're actually just TSC ports released under a different name. You could say like or vice versa, because I'm sure that there's some some PAL games. Oh, excuse me. That's why I can't be like a public speaker, or I'd lose my voice. Many PAL games that were actually just NTSC ports released under a different name. But were otherwise mostly identical to the NTSC release. Yeah, I'd say Contra Pro Protector is the most. Let's say nearly identical. So you could just say like to keep what do I want to say? Like I want to keep to keep the project. It's not a port. Well, it is kind of a port. I mean, it's different hertz, but how about just that? I want to say like to keep the project manageable or to keep the scope well defined. I mean, scope well defined. Only the truly unique PAL exclusive games were included. I don't know why that's capitalized. I did not mean to capitalize that. Okay, we just invented a question for the FAQ section. We did it. We've contributed. We are an EditMania. So here's where it gets confusing. Does TMR own every game, or does that mean do you own every NES game? You can view my collection here. I am say carts. Yeah, I mean, it's the most common thing anyway, because people, it's like the first thing people think of when they come into the stream or something. They're like, oh, he's beaten every game, okay. And then they look at the list like, hey, where's Micro Machines? You didn't beat Micro Machines. I don't think people usually question, like, why'd you beat these games twice, unless it's live. Like, when it's live, they're questioning it because they don't want to watch the game again. They want to see something new. But looking back on it, I don't think anyone will care that he beat, like, the Dr. Mario Tetris combo pack or anything. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, I don't know if he'll need to update it. He'll have to update some of this stuff again anyway, so. We'll see. We'll see about that. It should be easy to edit though. Like, he's not going to be getting that many games after he's done. Maybe Tri-Wave can make it dynamic. Because he's got the list imported into his database and who donated it, like whether he owns it or not, so he could actually make this dynamic. And he would probably quite enjoy doing so. So I don't think that'll be a big deal. Do you play on an original console or emulator? I mean, personally, I think this question should be rephrased because he took this from someone else and they were kind of writing it like live, and this isn't live. Like, this is going to be after. So, like, did you play on an original console or emulator? And then we can answer this here. Let's see. For the first part of EditMania, I played on an emulator because it gave me the best quality for my stream. Eventually, I upgraded to an Okay. Yeah, we'll mention the accessories. I haven't streamed since they changed their dashboard. It actually tells you how many clips people have made of your stream. I'm guessing since you were live. That's pretty interesting. So if someone makes a clip of your stream, you can actually tell that someone made a clip of it. That's pretty cool. I could just see it now, like someone, you know, when someone makes a stupid mistake and then all of a sudden they look down and that little clip button like goes up double digits. From that point on, I played on console only, except for a few cases where I did not own the cart and it was, I don't know if this is really necessary to be this specific, but this is the facts section, right? So incompatible with EverDrive. In either case, I did not use any features that would give me an advantage over using the original cart and original console. Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to put it here, where are you going to put it? Okay. All right, we're really making progress now. How was the game order decided? All right. I conducted raffles. After each game was beaten. Good point. Didn't get the best audio quality, that's for sure. The winners were able to choose the next game to play. The winner of each raffle was able to choose the next game to play. Why is that? Fun fact, not every game was decided by a raffle. I think we could probably combine these next ones somehow, like just like what were the raffle rules or something like that, because I mean, after the fact, no one really gives a crap about the raffles other than that they existed. I think we can just say something like, what were the rules of selecting? What were the raffle rules? Because we can cover everything then. Then we can kind of cover everything at once. Since there are 117 sports games on the NES, established a rule that every 5 to 7 games would be a sports raffle where only a sports game could be picked. This was to prevent the end of Mania being only sports games. Since I noticed no one liked to pick them otherwise. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Conducted after each game was beaten with the active viewers, chatters in my Twitch stream. I'm wondering. I'm just deciding whether we should mention, like, I definitely want to say you could only win one raffle, but since you could also win a sports raffle, if I should say that up front or after the fact, because really that's more important than the sports rules and all this stuff. Yeah, that's coming up, McDuck. How about this? So we kind of lie. We lie right here. We say a viewer is only allowed to win one normal raffle during EditMania. Since there's 117 sports games on the NES, established rule every 5 we got blah, blah, blah. That was for the only sports games, since no one likes to pick them otherwise. I changed the rules to allow viewers to also win one sports raffle along with the normal raffles. Something like that. The poverty raffle. So I get that RPG rule in there. Also, to help space out the RPG games, which weren't, I hope Landel's not here to see this, but this weren't especially enjoyable for the viewers. I created an RPG rule that didn't allow an RPG to be picked more than once every 5 games. Landale should create an RPG rule. Then you just be like, oh, I guess we're done because we can't play anything else. I like a normal pick and obligatory sport raffle choice. I don't think that's the word that you meant. Well, what's wrong with that? Yeah, but you can't just throw that in there like that, or can I? Okay, how about this? Since the sports games are less popular. Well, he felt that they were less popular. Well, I don't know if they were or not. Oh, just paste it normally. Come on. Paste. Paste. Merge formatting. Hola! Senor Clippy here. Yeah, he wrote that they were less enjoyable for viewers. He said he didn't care really that they were doing when the RPGs are kind of back to back personally, but that people were kind of moaning and groaning, so he just wanted to space them out a little bit, which is fine. That's why he did it, so. Why is Super Mario Bros. 3 the final game? My wise chatter told me when I started the project you should choose a game for the last. Should choose a good game for the finals. Otherwise, it will probably be an awful game. You got to go back to the VOD and see exactly what he said, Mr. Leo. He probably said, "Hey, bro, you should totally pick a game that doesn't suck, man. You're gonna get a crap sport game at the end." I just picked this album off of YouTube, by the way. I don't necessarily know if it's any good or not. If you're wondering what I'm listening to, let's do Pixie from Brothers 3 because it is one of the best games on the NES. And also, I couldn't pick Battletoads because it had already been beaten. Well, I think people were recommending it during his stream. It wasn't necessarily outside of the VOD, but I'm sure he made the decision outside of the VOD. Well, it says here I listened to him and I picked Super Mario Brothers 3 to be the final game. I don't like this run-on sentence, but I can't remember when he did it either. I mean, he probably picked it. It was pretty deep in. Like it was get closer to the game 100 maybe. But I mean, let's face it. Like picking it's for the best. It worked out well because Super Mario Bros. 3 you can play a Warpless. It takes like a long time and it's a cool game. And Battletoads he can beat that game too fast. That would be a bad ending, in my opinion. That would be the bad ending. That'd be the N8% ending. Bad ending. Yeah, it was early enough that it hadn't been picked yet, luckily, but it was late enough that a lot of the games were gone. It was one of the only really well-known games left. Otherwise, it would have been probably one of the Mega Man games or something. We should make a question for this. Did you ever skip Battletoads would be cool, like if he was like had never beaten it before, or something like that. But or if he like, but as a speedrunner of Battletoads, it would be really anticlimactic. Be like, all right, here we go, and he beats it 25 minutes later, and the only drama is whether or not he gets certain skips or something, you know. Yeah, Mario 3's definitely the way to go. Anyway, okay. Did you ever have to skip a game mean, I don't know the proper way to ask this. It's worth noting in here somewhere that he never moved on to the next game without beating it first. That could be the question, actually. You ever come back? Did you ever move on to another game before beating it? Hey, Jeff, what's up? Doing some wicked word processing.
Excellent!
Thanks for the follow. Oh, I didn't know that the text is covering up the alarm. That's a major mistake. So I can just move that text. Really, all this stuff should be moved down, huh? Let's fix it. Fix it. Okay, it's fixed. Okay. No matter how long or difficult the game, I did not move on to the next game until it had been beaten. Yeah, I could mention that like there were a couple of games that I could not play at the time because I needed an accessory. But those were completed as soon as I had the necessary equipment, whatever. Oh yeah, you said something before. We were talking about the zapper thing, right? We mentioned that he used like all the original peripherals. There we go. We got it. Score. Yeah, EditMania is still going on. So what I'm doing, Jeff, is TMR is trying to get his website all set before he finishes EditMania, and it's just so it has a place people can go check it out, whatever. And so he typed up all this stuff recently, and to get on the website. And English isn't his first language, so he was just kind of getting everything down as a draft. So I offered to proofread it and everything, and get it kind of in the proper English. I figured I might as well stream it and get some help, and here we are. When are games considered beaten? Wow, this is weird phrasing here. The normal rule of EditMania, TMR settled, is beating the game's any percent. Okay. Let's see. As a speedrunner, the most common ending of a most common what? Oh, geez. Most common term for beating a game is called any percent. Yeah, I think that gets mentioned differently here. This shouldn't be the first thing. The first thing should be credits, but because really any percent's more about difficulty and stuff. In fact, let's just do that now. That's where this stuff comes in. We'll just retype it. What do you say? Some games have obvious endings, like reaching the end credits after beating the final boss. Oh, I can turn it down, sorry. I don't have a way to understand audio, so, and I know my mic sucks. I've got the mic volume jacked up all the way. I don't know what else to do about it. It's like a $80 headset. To me, that's expensive, but let me know if that's better. I turned it down a little bit. It also doesn't help that this music has vocals in it. I mean, what the heck, man? Who wants vocals in their music? Yeah, let's change to something else. It's almost over anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Any percent kind of sounds like something separated. I agree. I should probably start with this stuff here that he had. Other games do not have obvious ending. Like the arcade ports, which seem to go on forever and focus more on points. On high scores. Those games game is usually. Stops becoming aggressively more difficult. Someone else wrote this recently, actually. Can you hear me better, Mr. Leo? I'm probably also talking more quiet as well because it's getting later. Streaming is hard. Various sources, including Adam L's Game Fact for NES endings, have been used. Once a viewer even contacted I think the any percent should be a separate thing because it could just be a different question. Game endings. The advice of experts of that particular game, or even checking the game code in emulators. Kind of like that, and then I wonder if, because you could put the any percent here too. I just don't know if there's a good way to like transition to it. I think it could be put in here, so I could just say like, as a speedrunner, get this junk out of the way. Most common term for beating a game is called any percent. Oh, let's get that up there actually. I don't like the phrasing of that. Which is reaching the ending of a game as fast as possible. So that was usually the criteria would use when deciding the goal. In cases of multiple endings or difficulty selections. However, there were many games where that condition was not very satisfying and didn't feel like beating the game. I swear Nestor doesn't sleep. People talk about me not sleeping. Yeah, okay. This is spacing is too. All right, yeah, we can split this up a little bit. I mean, really, this is what you would split up like that. Nestor's never been on my stream. Nestor doesn't even follow me. Nestor's only here because TMR, in quotes, hosted me. We all know the truth. Okay. I'm mostly satisfied with that. Does TMR use hints, spoilers, save states? I just want to make sure it's clear that that's like its own section. Let's give an extra entry. Does TMR use hints, spoilers, save states, etc.? Yeah, we're really moving now, Gordo. If there's any particular part you want to review, let me know. On the other hand, I don't know if that's really the right phrasing to say there. He typed this one up, so. Well, the no spoilers thing was in the drama section. Oh yeah, here it is here. So he's gonna have a link there. I don't think he needs to have this, but correct. Thank you. It's a long freaking sentence. That's okay. We're not typing a story here. This is just it's as long as short speed, blah blah blah. You should probably put like there's going to be lists on the site, so link to longest game list and shortest game list. Oh, the semicolon. The drama link is going to link to this section in this paragraph that we were doing earlier about why he was speeding up his games. It'll just send that person there because this is going to be on a separate page. Sorry for the scrolling. Okay. What have been the hardest games to beat? What games took? What games? What were? I think it should be the other way around. For the average user, no continue code /ABBA. That's all fine. We don't need to rephrase any of that. What are TMR's favorite and least favorite games he's played during EditMania? Okay, you can view his game ratings in the game section. That's fine. What is TMR's favorite? What is your? What are your? You have. can view my. I'm sure I missed some of these. I mean, in fact, I'm going to go back and look. Did I do you? That's it. Are you? Now we're really counting chickens. Are you the first person ever to beat every Nintendo game? Does you use hints? What's wrong with that? Is that incorrect English? Does you think that's not right? See, I don't know how. I wouldn't say almost certainly personally, but I don't know that he would mind saying almost certainly. We just say yes. I mean, who's going to say no, you know? Just say yes. I am definitely the first person to have documented it. What do they think? Fragment, consider revising. I'm glad you guys have stuck around to help me proofread this. This isn't the most exciting thing, but it does help that other people are doing it. Collaborative. When we get to the thanks section, maybe we'll just, you know, in really tiny font, we'll get all of our names in there for this. What are the must-see highlights from this mania? There are several short videos and clips. On my Twitch and YouTube. Do we need to be like real pros here? YouTubes. Yeah, there's probably things like, just since I'm reading this question stuff here, there's probably ones that I'm not thinking of, but I'm just I was just supposed to revise the grammar and things, so we're going above and beyond. Several short videos and clips on my Twitch and YouTube channels, but there are some games unexpectedly turned out and then these can probably be links, right, too, so I could just link to the pages. I mean, like, a must-see highlight wouldn't be a 38-hour playthrough of Championship Pool. It would be the really specific moments in Championship Pool that were really awesome. But we don't need to editorialize that too much, I don't think. All right, so we'll fix a couple of words in here, but there's not much to change with these things, I don't think, unless anybody sees something. just looking for any kind of obvious typos or something. I think that's supposed to be capital. Yeah, he threw everything in there. I don't like, that's fine. Like this should be in like a stream fac than more than the EditMania fac, but it is part of what he did. So what was your setup? I don't think setup is the right word either. What was the equipment? I mean, maybe this is too picky, but what was the equipment you used during the project? I would say during the project, why not? Yeah, he can get really fancy with this if he wants. Yeah, his thumb. I've got to be careful. We don't want to show too much of his equipment, if you know what I mean. You can just leave all this alone. Like this, he was saying like, I'm just going to mark this in red. So I'll mark it and I'll say, I'll comment it. This isn't equipment. How do you leave a comment? There's a way to leave comments, right? Like this doesn't need to be there at all. All right, new comment. Delete this. Yeah, he had different speeds throughout the whole thing, right? Let's just delete it. Let's not even mess around. Like this is, we all agree this isn't, no one needs to know this. It's not equipment. Your speed is not an equipment. Everything else, totally cool. Especially this is like after he's done. So you're like, what internet speed did you have while you were doing your project? Someone asked that, you just kick him right in the nuts. Okay, now we can get back to some actual text again. Hey, somebody made a clip. Oh man, am I on live stream fails already? Project wouldn't have been the same. Now, this I don't want to change too much, but wouldn't have been the same without all the help from people who supported me during this crazy epic quest. Either supporting directly or indirectly ideas. With ideas. Nice, I hope it was a good one, Mr. Though. Going to narrow the list with the ones that help me the most. How about instead of that, say like, here is a short list of the ones that helped me the most. I think Big John goes like this, doesn't he? I think Big John goes like that. And I really don't want to change these very much at all, since this is what in the first made on a website and we'll use the proper ands for these. Probably doesn't need to be capitalized. I don't know how much he wants me to touch this stuff. I mean, just saying he programmed the Nightbot commands is a vast understatement, but that is what he did. We'll just leave it alone. This is TMR thinking them. I don't want to make any paraphrases of this stuff. Making the original list of games, separating them into categories, estimates, adding estimates, and I mean, Indie Open did every manual. All right, try with website via detailed stats. Numeric. Setimo, make him in all caps and bold. Should probably capitalize Victor. Yeah, I did both themes, but the other theme was not an EditMania theme, so I think that's why he didn't mention it. Designer of thumbnails for EditMania, YouTube, EditMania Gifts Master. Oh, is this his official title? It's fine. We can leave it capitalized then. Tony. Nestia, here you are, Nestia. Co-editor. Yeah. I think it was Prince Batman who really wanted him on there. I mean, I don't know, like, you know, he was on just that one game. Like, all these other people did so much more than he was just there for one game and he got thanked at the time and he's in the VOD. Like, I feel like that's substantial, but whatever. Doesn't hurt, right? A little thanks to extra people doesn't hurt. More than the weekend and Tagus. Games collection. I kind of want to say like exactly because they did organizing and shipping, because Tagus shipped that stuff and More Than the Weekend was like managing all that stuff. And he also like donated games, but that gets mentioned later. No, the Nesgoomba? I don't know. I mean, he didn't think. I mean, so Big John was on there too. But I feel like if you're on the VOD doing it, like you're doing it at that time, like that's part of the thing. Like this is for thanking people outside of that, but maybe not. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna thank the guy for translating, I think it was Prince Batman. I think the reason he was stressing that guy is just because, like, I don't even think that guy really watched the stream or anything. Like, he was just a friend of a friend and he offered to do it. So he was actually, like, providing more of a service than having a good time or whatever. French translations. I don't think, that wasn't on Skype, was it? All right, Shar, he set up Nightbot, he did all those EditMania links, that's fine. And German translator for Banana Prince. Duango and Link. Like Link also, he probably doesn't care, but Link also, like, he helped a lot with checking the game code for a lot of goals. I think I told him to put them together since they both helped for this, but really I'm thinking that they should be split apart because they kind of did two different things. Because Link helped with this, but he also helped separately. I don't know. I don't really, I mean, like, it's nice for him to put me on here, but when it comes to EditMania, I mean, like, EditMania itself, I really have nothing to do with it. Like, I'm just a viewer of EditMania, just a viewer. Anything that I've helped with is completely unrelated to what he's done with the project, If I was going to edit this, I didn't just do that video editor, I did those other videos. I mean, I think we could just say like we could just say like compilation video editor. Could like link to those videos, that would be cool, right? Get some more hits on that Family Feud best of. Well, I'm more than a viewer like now, like I'm helping him out more now, but like I the first thing I ever even did for him, really at all, was like that was the Family Feud video, and that was I think that was this year, right? Hey Joseph, what's up? So like I've only been helping him like this year. He's been doing this project for 2.5 years. So I haven't been doing that much compared to a lot of these other people. Like Nester's been a mod like basically the whole time helping with this stuff. I've only been around for, I mean, I've been around, but I haven't been assisting for very long, in my opinion. Entrepreneur. I He wrote that. It's fine. I'll leave it there. I think the handyman is funny though. I don't mind that. It's funny his like you know he doesn't like use the chat very much, so his view of the chat is funny because like he was like, oh yeah, we got to credit Tetsumo with editing the commands. Like he was like, oh, Tetsumo is a Nightbot command editor, and they're like, well, Tetsumo does it sometimes when he has to, but that's not really what he does. He just does so many other different things, but like that's more something like Nastria does that. And for me, he didn't even really think about that. Yeah, top chatter. That's what Tetsumo's gonna hack this and put top chatter in there. That's his favorite thing. Hey, what's up, Badger? Yeah, this is definitely a group project. That's what makes it great, though, really, is that everybody has their hand in it in some way and can help out. Like, it's still his project. Like, he's beating all the games, and that's the most important thing, and that's what makes it awesome. But that everybody else can kind of help out and make that project better, not just for him, but for themselves. I mean, like, the stuff I do makes his stream better, but it helps me enjoy a stream more in its own way too. Like, you can spam poverty shark in chat. Like it helps myself, not just him, right? Yeah, I think I probably only became a mod in April, McDucks, so like probably around that time. I haven't been a mod most of the time during this mania. I think most of it was like I became a mod like right when Shiar got a job and got really busy and stopped showing up to the stream very often. And he did a lot of the grunt work kind of stuff, so I just took over the stuff that he was doing mostly just because I was around and I wanted to, I guess. I have ideas. All right, let's move on from pretending to be modest. All right. See, really, he's kind of a creator of that, but that's okay. Because like he's like here, I'm gonna message him about this because he's got Circuit Mortis making these emotes, which are awesome emotes. But if he's gonna thank Circuit Mortis, he's got to thank Unweaver for my favorite emote on Twitch, which is the gold taco. Unweaver's got to get a credit for the gold taco. Nice, Joseph. Have a good day, man. And Badger, I'm never going back to Screaming Gilligan's Island unless I got to take my world record back. And the only people with good times are Darby and Author Blues, and both of them have sworn to never play the game again. So I'm in good company. But I did notice that Nest Cardinality has a lifetime goal of speedrunning every NES game. So when he gets to Gilligan's Island, he will undoubtedly break my record, and we'll see what happens at that point. I may just leave it be. We'll see. I'm hoping he just never gets to it, but we'll see. But the music's over. Listen to this thing. You should play it, McDuck. You're not going to beat my world record by accident. I promise. You'll have to try, and you won't want to. He just wants to speedrun every game, Badger, but he's like, you know, an awesome speedrunner, so he wants to get like a good time. He said he either wants to get like a time that he can't beat without grinding on it forever, or if he improves a run or something like that. Trust me, he would have no trouble beating my run. It's not like it's a great run or anything. It's just an acceptable run. It's not a bad game. Like, it's kind of a fun game. It's just simple. Like, you're just walking from place to place, talking to people, and it's not like exciting. I don't think it's .tv. I think it's just Nightbot. Or is it TV? Well, I'm going to look that up. It is Nightbot.tv, but I think it should technically be NightDev. I'm going to use Nightbot in my chat. I think that's more appropriate. As far as like licensed games goes, it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Special thanks to all. These really shouldn't be capitalized. Donators, subscribers, viewers, Oxford, and fans who supported me during the whole quest. Okay, that's the last thing there. 2,454 words reviewed. Here, I'm just gonna make an executive decision here. I'm gonna highlight it so he sees it. What's up with this spacing? Anyway. Wait, who? Is it whom? That? Okay. Sure. Okay. So that's everything there. It's like have a like compilation best of, because I didn't. Wasn't just the compilation, I guess. Fine. Who? See it, McDuck. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Good luck with your brother. Yeah, TMR said he was hungover today. And that was when I like messaged him. It was probably midnight his time tonight. So 24 hours later, he's like, I'm so hungover. Okay, so we can review this here. I said I was going to highlight the things. I changed a lot, and then I only highlighted one thing. Maybe I just didn't change that much. Should be capitalizing Twitch. I put so many comments in there, I don't know. I think that's right though. I kind of want to change this to my viewers watching live in chat, rather than implying that his viewers were alive, as opposed to his viewers being dead and watching. Instead, using only information solely within the instruction booklet. I mean, I think we all know it as the manual, right? This is where you get into trouble just randomly picking out words here and there and switching them out without reading the entire context, so maybe I shouldn't do that. I think this part's all fine, like we wrote through all that. So like the frequently asked questions. What is EditMania? How many games did you beat? Why did you beat those specific games? Why didn't you beat this other specific game? Do you own every game? Do you play on console? These are like the project questions. How'd you do the order? How'd you do the raffles? How'd you pick the last game? I don't think there's really much else to it. I mean, I can't think of anything that's, when it comes to the project itself, that he did. Is you underlined there? Underlined. I'm going too fast. Yeah, it is, but I don't, it doesn't, yeah, it just, you know how Word is. It's fixed. I right-clicked on it and it fixed it. Did you ever move on to another game before beating it? No! Mm-hmm. Perfect. Love it. Boom. Also Battletoads. So when are, I think that's the wrong tense. When were games considered beaten? I mean, really, it's like how were games considered? When were games considered to be beaten? No, I think it's fine like that. Let's just link that. Did you? Games took the longest. I mean, you can actually have the list here even. I think Chessmaster is actually 2 words, is it not? I'm pretty sure. Chessmaster is 2 words. All right. I thought it was. Oh, it's fine. Yep. Dang, we got to italicize the whole list, don't we? We got to italicize this entire list. Man, I missed a lot of tenses here. What were your favorite and least favorite games you played during this mania? The saxophone, man. Saxophones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're typing as if we're in the future right now. He's finished. He's done it. He won. Look at all these. Look at all this. Look at all this. So many. This is a italicized mania. By the way, this isn't like some hard and fast list here he thought of like long time ago and this is something he did on the fly while he was writing this question. So if you have a suggestion of something that should be on this list, you could probably add it in, no problem. Yeah, that's true. Like, we should have something about that. Let's go back up to the top here. What is NESmania? NESmania's team was what was NESmania? This seems like a weird thing to say, but NESmania was his quest. I mean, it is his quest. It's the story of his quest, right? It is a quest. It is a quest, and it was a quest. It began on May 28th, 2014, and ended on 2017, totaling hours of gameplay. I know, this is like writing an obituary. This is painful. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Why is this website so slow to load? Okay, enough of that. Oh, so sad. Why were there duplicates? Duplicates, I think we just say what is NESmania, what was NESmania's too. I mean, because people are coming to the site, they're like, what the heck is NESmania? It's a current question, whether or not it's now or in the past or whatever. Although I think technically it should be past tense, but I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, you're right. Next fact needs to be in the correct. Why were there duplicates? Well, this doesn't necessarily have to be past tense here. Why are there? Because it's, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's 714 games in his list. I mean, that's true now and forever. I think that tense is okay to say. Why are there? Why did you play duplicate titles? So that then it goes to the past, like why did you do that? Why did you do that? I think that's okay. Why were there that many chapters? What was Moby Dick? What was it? Was it a book? Because it no longer is. Okay. I think we did it. I think we did it, guys. I think we're done. Now to close this without saving. I kind of wanted to like highlight more stuff, but I really feel like I should just not highlight anything and just let him read the whole thing, and he can make the marks where he wants to make them. I'm just gonna take this off anyway. Like he can reread this and print this out. I know he doesn't want to, but I feel like this thing here is he'll want to read this regardless. Well, luckily, one thing is we do have this all on stream, so I could type it again very slowly. Look, Gilligan, right in there. That's my pictures of my maps. All right, I think we're good. And he'll probably copy and paste this somewhere anyway. Thanks, Mr. Leo. I couldn't have done it without your help, Ify's help, McDuck, Gordo. You guys are my own special thanks list in my heart. Let's see who's who can we host? I mean, I usually like to host Vidtendo. He's doing some Super Mario Brothers speedruns, learning some stuff. good guy, and he speaks French. What more could you ask for? All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your help. I'm thanking you, but I'm sure TMR will thank you as well, since we all kind of did this together. Appreciate it. Have a good one.